Who's the? He's Puerto Rican.
When he was growing up, he would get, if he went to class on time, if he did his homework, if he showed up and got good grades, he was accused of acting white. This
He's
is straight
Puerto
from Coleman
Rican.
Hughes' mind. So you said
Coleman Hughes is Puerto
he's
Rican.
perceived. It doesn't matter. He's perceived as black.
No,
So
he's not. He's a Puerto Rican coon who's paid by white think tanks. He doesn't count. You're proving my point.
He identifies as black. If you ask him
he
what
doesn't.
it is,
He's a Puerto Rican coon.
He
So you're
says
proving my point, sir.
Tariq, you've had your turn. Let me get 10
because
words
now
out, please.
you're saying I'm putting everything in context.
Tariq,
let him speak and then
Tariq, I let you get 10 words out. Let me get 10 words out. Tariq, you're not letting
white think tank, so you're not going to play that game.
Tariq, you're showing very poor manners. Let me get 10 words out.
No, because you're not going to lie.
Well, let me get Tariq. You're claiming that you have good manners. You're claiming to have.
I'm sorry, but we can't have people interrupting like that.
Can I get like 90 seconds? Is that possible? And then
yeah, just get your point. You can get your point out, and then he can respond. Tariq, you've gotten to respond to everybody within 3 seconds of their first few words. So just let him get his point out, and then you can respond. You're next, Tariq.
And then I want to respond to his slap. I can't hear nobody right now. I don't know if
yes. So 90 seconds, if it's okay, and then people can respond. Ariva Martin, a CNN analyst, she's black. She was talking to a radio host. She said to him, he's got white privilege. Turns out he's black. She then later said she thought he was white because he sounded white. So this refutes Tariq Nasheed's claim that, people, black Americans don't think that certain people sound white because of how they speak. Only hearing him, she thought, based on how he sounded alone, he was white. Again, directly refute Tariq Nasheed's claim. Coleman Hughes was asked before, what does acting white mean? Coleman Hughes described it in at least 2 ways. One, getting good grades, doing your homework, showing up on time. Coleman Hughes directly said this. Also, he did mention in one of his interviews, the way he speaks, the way he articulates, some black Americans say that he sounded white. So again, 2 lines of evidence refuting that, if you speak in a certain way with a certain articulation, enunciating words properly, that you will get derided for quote unquote sounding white. Here we have 2 lines of evidence. People can decide for themselves. Ariva Martin, it's in the Jumbotron, and people can Google it.
Okay. So Ariva Martin is a nobody nothing burger. Coleman Hughes is a Puerto Rican coon who works for these white supremacist think tanks, which further proves my point earlier, is that the only people who say this are people who are getting paid to say this nonsense. So Coleman Hughes is not a representative of foundational black Americans. And me, as a foundational black American who has been black for a long time, and I've dealt with black people all around the country, we do not look at articulation as sounding white. In fact, sounding white means you sound dumb or like an airhead. That's what we mean when we say somebody sounds white. There's plenty of articulate black people. There's this fantasy with people in the dominant society that we think intelligence and prosperity is somehow acting white. That's something to massage the egos of the dominant society. We don't want to act like you. We have our own thing going. We do not represent ignorance. The white supremacists like to promote ignorance and degradation. And there's a lot of these wannabe white supremacists who like to promote that stuff to deflect from the fact that they come from failed cultures. Like, unfortunately, I don't want to be disparaging, but the Diane Yaps of the world, they come from these failed cultures in Asia and in Europe, and they come over here and eat off foundational black Americans and then want to point the finger at the
damn, you got a trigger? What happened?
I don't know. I don't even know if she's here or not. So
I think Diane muted me when I started calling out her failed culture. Is everything okay, Diane?
Well,
okay,
we can hear you.
Diane, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Well, now that we know you from Taiwanese.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's absolutely insane.
Well,
and in fact,
listen, y'all want to point that y'all come from Taiwan and all these places where you want to point the finger at black people and criminality. We don't have the version of the Yakuza and the Triads and the Tongs and the Sun Yeos and all of these Asian. Sir, ma'am, stop. These are your Asian brethren, and y'all have organized crimes all over the place. So that's
It's so weird how you guys,
Oh, now y'all want to
Tariq,
delineate from
hold
Asian,
on.
but
because no,
y'all
no,
but y'all
no.
want.
Hold on, Tariq. How is it that you get to just lump in all Asian ethnic groups together, but then when it's time to talk about black crime, none of the ethnic groups are the same. They all need to be treated as distinct entities with different cultures, different behaviors. But when it's time for other groups, it's not like that. It's just they're just Asian. How do you juggle that, Tariq, and still look at yourself in the mirror and say I'm an honest person?
Okay, unmute me. Shit. Yeah, I'm playing their game because if I'm responsible for what's going on in Chicago and I live 3,000 miles away and I don't have nothing to do with the gangs there, then you're responsible for the triads and the yakuzas and all of the organized crime. But you're the
So right. So now we're
what y'all do? Y'all do
exactly.
y'all yeah. When y'all try to insult us, y'all post pictures of Africa and people getting their hair washed by animal piss. When y'all try to insult us, so you do that all the time. Y'all look at us as one big Negro. So we can play that game too. We can play the whole game too and look at your whole culture and the failure of it and why you have to flee. So we can play this game all day. You help?
Well,
How can you help
No,
me and
you're here
y'all?
to fetishize white
You,
men. That's what you're here for.
you're not helping anything. You
Because
couldn't
you
help yourself back home.
wait, you're here to fetishize white men because listen, you literally said that propaganda doesn't lead to violence, right? And then you conceded that Trump was the person to blame China for bringing COVID to America, which I literally posted in the chat, which was the uptick in Asian hate crime. So instead of addressing the person, your white savior that y'all love, right? Because you know Asian women date white men at the highest rate. Instead of critiquing the white men, right, that y'all fetishize, y'all punch down on black men by bringing up anecdotes in Frisco. That's literally what the hell's going on.
Ma'am, have you seen the
So
violence?
you don't answer no questions.
let her finish.
No, because no, the white ones don't get reported like that.
I'm Taiwanese and I say so.
The white ones don't get reported like that. Because
I'm
the white ones
Taiwanese
don't
and I
get
say
reported
so.
like that.
Post the stats. You ain't posted the
Post
stats yet.
the white ones don't get reported like that, man. That's how white crime usually doesn't get reported like
Why do they not get
no, they don't. They
reported?
don't get reported. White people
Wait.
get away with murder.
Tell
The
us,
white
Tariq.
man, the
Wait,
white crimes don't get reported
Tariq. Tell us why they don't get reported, and then we got to let somebody else speak for a second. But tell us why the white crimes
because of white
aren't getting
supremacy,
reported. Like why?
because of white immunity from law. White crimes don't get reported, and if it gets reported, it gets flipped around, and they have an excuse for it. White
So
crimes,
time out. So time
white
out.
crimes on average don't get reported like that, and their activities don't even get criminalized.
Yo, this is a clip from a space where some Asian was talking about black people attacking them the most. You could even hear her half the space. Apparently only the speakers could. But after Tariq left, Tommy Sotomayor joined and started agreeing with this girl. Y'all let me know if y'all want me to post that clip too. Yeah, but that's all I really got to say about this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and comment down below. Follow me on Twitter. That's where I post crazy clips I can't put on YouTube. And I'm planning on hosting spaces again, probably in the next few weeks. I've just been real lazy. And also follow me on Instagram. I'm more active on Twitter, but I still post on IG. And make sure to follow my Rumble in case some of these videos get taken down. That's where I put them back up on.